Hey folks, this is Brian. Hey, I'm going to do a video response. I belong to a Facebook page where they talk about different RPG video stuff. And Lee Patterson from Master of the Game YouTube page put out a question statement on, maybe this is wrong, but I like to make an outline for my campaigns, even for my homebrew world prep sometimes. Your fun is wrong. It helps me keep things organized in a way my brain understands. I do the same sort of thing. So he asked, how do you write up, prep your homebrew campaign, etc. Now, this mechanic I got from the DM's block, and I'll put their webpage, their URL in the description if you want to check them out. I don't remember exactly which podcast number it was, but they have been doing. They did a number of podcasts in utilizing Magic the Gathering cards in your RPG. In this particular one, they talk about how they used Magic the Gathering cards to give you inspiration on your game. Now, I run a Runequest role-playing in Glorantha campaign online. I've got my Chronicles of Karin is my current and my first campaign on one of my playlists if you want to check some of those session review things out. But anyway, so I took that concept and I went a little further in trying to develop what my plan was for a 3-chapter campaign kind of thing, right? Book 1, Book 2, Book 3 is how I've got it in my current write-up, although I've got a Book 4. That's actually, the 4th book is broken into 3 chapters. And then there's a capstone on top of that, which may be as many as 3 other sections. So we'll see how long this actually drags out. But anyway, I digress. So the concept is you draw Magic the Gathering cards. Who, what, and where. And then you look at the artwork to give you inspiration to answer those 3 questions. What I did is I did a tarot reading. I laid out 9 cards, 3 by 3, and then I rolled, D6s, D3s, D2s, whatever needs to be required for the roll, to pick a card. First card, who, for the first book. Second card, where. Who, where. Who, what, and where. Who, what, and where. And that was the first book. And then who, what, and where for the second book, and who, what, and where for the third book. And I looked at that artwork. Okay, give me something, give me something, give me something. And it got rough a couple times because, Magic the Gathering cards have like those environment cards where you've got like Seacoast or something, and you've got like a bunch of those, right? So yeah, for who, what, and where. Seacoast, Seacoast, Seacoast. I did pull some of those for some of my adventures. But so I've got these concepts, right? And so I kind of sketched this out. Who, what, and where for the first one. Who, what, where second one. Who, what, where, and third one. So I'm building my outline or my sketch. And then I took the first book and I'm looking at who, what, and where, and what this artwork is telling me. And Glorantha is very steeped in mythology. In fact, Glorantha is a mythological world. And I'll do some side comments on a separate video. I'll go ahead and link into this one so those who aren't interested, not get bogged down. But anyway, I've got a framework that is it my own room? Yeah, your Glorantha will vary is one of the mantras, right? So my Glorantha does. But I want it to lay in and make sense with the Glorantha that's published. And so my first chapter was called The Baboon Hunt. I have no idea which cards I pulled, but it had something to do with, I want to say one of them was a creature, it may have been a baboon, or a baboon-like creature or something. So okay, it's baboons, and they're a race in Glorantha. And I think there was a magic item, some kind of crystal maybe. And so I developed something, okay, there's this crystal thing, and I don't remember the where, but I end up setting it up in or at the Sundong Temple in Dragon Pass, and I put it. That's just me. I put it during the Trade Time Festival, because it makes sense. Because the Trade Time Festival, everybody from everywhere is going to be there, and they've got lots of things, lots of different cultures, lots of different communities, many miles away coming around for this thing, right? And then I laid my adventure underneath the veneer of a Brother Cadfael murder mystery, which was a lot of fun, actually. So I'd use these different things that, as I've got the Trade Time Festival. What do I know about the Trade Time Festival? Well, I know about festivals, some stuff I've watched from Brother Cadfael. Okay, let's lay that on there. There's murder mystery and how we piece this together, and that's how I kind of tied it all together. Now, 100% confession, I did use the 5th edition DM's guide on scenario creation to try and get key NPCs and things about them and some other stuff, help flush things out. And then I stole almost lock, stock, and barrel Michael Bryan's Sundome Temple from his Sun County campaign book that he wrote. But it's just a piece of it. It didn't really have that much to do with the actual scenario itself. It was just a piece of environment that's there that allowed me access to other flavor and fringe things going on. And then as we played, things would pop up and things would pop up and things would pop up. So I'd have to do research on, okay, what else can happen with this? Who else is doing this? What else can I have doing that? That kind of stuff to pull things in. So I spend in between sessions a lot of time doing my development, my research, fleshing out. Excuse me. So using the DM's block, Magic the Gathering card thing gives me a structure, a framework, a skeleton, if you will. And then I take materials I already have. My second book, which was a troll raid, I took 2 different. One was a troll cave. The other was an orc cave out of Iron Crown Enterprises, the Troll Shaws booklet, and kind of merged those and threw the Glorantha flavor onto it for that encounter piece for that. And right now we're doing chapter 3, which is a cavern crawl. And I won't get into that since we're actually in the middle of that, but I would take these other materials that I have, these modules and stuff that I already have, and strip out stuff that I can use. Now, D&D modules, I've always been, not always, in the past 30 years, I've been severely concerned about believability and rationality of these environments. So I've got to hack and slash and pieces out, but then it's beautiful how things just kind of rise to the surface. In this one scenario I'm running right now, there is a death cult, and that's my part is doing trying to clean out this death cult, right? Well, it so happens that there is a death cult in Glorantha, and the two mash up surprisingly well. And I had to massage and change things and modify a few things for the Gloranthan field to sit on top of this death cult. In fact, even today or this week, I realized that I may have made some of the encounters too difficult. And so I'm going back down. I'm massaging. I continue to massage. Every time I get a chance to review, I massage what I'm doing. And I write stuff out. I do a copy paste from the original materials. I strip out, change this, change that, change this, change that. But I've got a write out that I can then remind myself what's going on, and I do Excel spreadsheets on my encounters, my monster stat blocks are on spreadsheets, and so it's actually all randomized stats. And I throw an age piece into that, and I throw in a level piece into that, which modifies all their percentages and stuff at the end result. So it can get kind of in depth. Now, once I get things done, I just print it out and I don't worry about things changing anymore, unless I have to go in and make a change myself, which case I have to do a reprint. But hey, C'est la vie. So that's how I do my campaign pret. I do the DM's block, Magic the Gathering, skeleton of who, what, where. And then I use that for inspiration on Gloranthifying the events. And then I take all the old module stuff that I've got. Hey, I've got something that deals with it. All right, I've got something that might fit. Or, hey, that's close enough. I take it, massage it, strip it out, and Glorantha it. But anyway, Lee, like I said, I do a video response. This is it for you. Happy gaming.